David Stewart-Smith, the Managing Partner of Andrew Grant Estate Agents, Chartered Surveyors. We have 11 sales and lettings offices around Herefordshire, Worcestershire and Warwickshire. We've been established for over 40 years. We've been clients of Reapit for 5 years now. We'd been with our previous supplier for some 20 years before we encountered Reapit and started hearing about the reputation of Reapit. However, the financial model that we'd been used to was where we'd had to commit a lot of capital, and we were very reluctant to change from that particular software. But when we came across Reapit, we discovered a completely new ethos in terms of their attitude towards our data. We'd been very frustrated with our previous provider in wanting to do things with our data, but we got the feeling that they owned the data, or in their minds they did. And Reapit came with a completely new attitude to life as far as we were concerned, and respected the true position that it was our data. So we did a lot of market research, and we selected Reapit because of their cultural attitude, their ethos, and also because their pricing model suited us. It wasn't all money up front, it was on a per user basis. And we rather liked that, as businesses ebb and flow with numbers, so that suited us. I mean, one of the additional benefits of Reapit in those days was that with our old software, we couldn't integrate office to office, whereas Reapit provided us with that complete solution of being able to have the data accessed from every office throughout the practice. So that was a great benefit to us, and we got very used to that. And then as we expanded into the lettings world more latterly, wanting to spread it out to the branches, it was the perfect platform to do it. But we had different software for our lettings operation, and with Reapit getting more advanced with their lettings solution, particularly with the accounts functionality, it made complete sense for us to switch all of our lettings requirements to Reapit. And this we've done very satisfactorily, and the consequence of that is that when properties are for sale and they switch into the lettings arena, it's a seamless transition. Whereas the prospects of extending our original letting software to all of the new sales and lettings offices, we'd have had double data inputting, which would have been very unpalatable. So Reapit's allowed us to have all of that data completely integrated into one software platform. So buyers are sellers, are vendors, are landlords, and that complete fluidity of people through those different statuses is provided by Reapit for us. Remembering that up until 5 years ago we had one lettings office only, and so all of the lettings business was centred through that office in our head office town, that we wanted to take this out to all the what were then the sales branches. So to make those sales and lettings, we had to get suitable software in there, which is what we did by bringing in Reapit into the lettings side of it as well. And that's given the branches the capability of themselves servicing all of the lettings inquiries, whereas previously they'd simply forwarded them on to our central office in Worcester. And they're now completely self-sufficient, and they have access to all of the data, all of the landlords, all of the tenants, and all of the accounts information as well. And so they now no longer have that umbilical cord to the central lettings office that was. They're now out there foraging for their own business and are fully equipped to do so. Going back to our original decision to move from one tried and tested, very well understood software system to Reapit was it gave us some concerns in terms of how were we going to get 85, 90 odd users up to speed as quickly as we needed to keep the business going seamlessly. but we were given the reassurance on that front by the training facility that comes with the Reapit package, and that training facility is superb, and it's been completely fulfilled in terms of what we expected to receive. And it is important, it's critically important to be able, because not everybody is a willing a party to transition. There will always be some who are less capable, who are less willing, and the training facilities that we've experienced give that encouragement and help, and it's ongoing. The backroom support, as I might refer to it, is equally as robust. It may not be as prominent, as evident. They tend to be more secretive individuals, but they're there. And with the lettings integration, they have been absolutely superb, because we have had some internal resistance. I'm not hiding from that, but they've been incredibly supportive at helping us overcome that cultural change, particularly in the account side of life, where people get steeped in history in terms of doing things as they've always done it, and doing it this way has been a significant cultural change, but the backroom support has been absolutely incredible. And so in talking about the support being as brilliant as it has been, there have been any number of instances where I've been on the other end of emails that have come from midnight, even turned midnight, from Senior Director of the team in helping us overcome our problems, not of Reapit's making but of our making. And it has just been evident that they've been very, very determined to go that extra mile to ensure that this particular client of theirs comes out satisfied. It was a natural progression of our relationship with Reapit to give serious consideration to their web facility, their web solution. And we were in need of modernising our website, as happens with everybody from time to time. And Reapit were there lurking in the wings, very willing to help. And we engaged with them after a lot of research, but felt that they got what we needed. And we put ourselves into their capable hands, and to a large extent were led by their advice and their knowledge of the way that web development had gone to date and continues to go. And so they gave us some facilities and functionality that we almost certainly wouldn't have had without them. And so the search functionality is absolutely fantastic. It's the best that I've seen of any websites of estate agents, and we get nothing but praise from customers in terms of being able to navigate to the properties that they want to buy or lease. So that's been magnificent. And the other thing that we've latterly done are calls to action with particular reference to valuations, what we in the trade call market appraisals, but I've decided to cut through all that jargon and we call it valuations because that's what the public recognise. And we're getting a tremendous number of very, very valuable leads, and that's the interesting thing from these. They're quality valuations, the ones that we're now getting through the website. And those are coming at all sorts of times of day and night, and mostly in the evening. And they're allowing us to service them very well. And the way that we're servicing those leads is that they are available to any of our users at any time of day or night. So we make them available to whoever wants to pick them up, so they're serviced promptly. And any request for evaluation can be taken and emailed back or even spoken to, but then booked into a Reapit diary for the appropriate valuer. And that is happening way outside office hours now, and the impression that gives to those potential clients makes them actual clients. Property Tracker is another attribute that comes grafted onto the service provision by Reapit, and we were very nervous about that actually. We had a fear that the vendors would perhaps have an insight into our world that we were holding on to, and it was our preserve to hold this information about the number of viewings or the numbers of sales details given out, and what the prospective buyers were saying about their lovely properties. So our initial reaction was very nice, but perhaps only suitable for a select number of candidates. But when we trialled it, the appetite for more was obvious. Vendors wanted it, they were greedy for it, and so we lifted our restrictions, and we've now found that it's very much a way that we can gain extra jobs, extra commissions. It's another USP that we can use to our advantage, but it also saves us time, because the vendors go on there and find out the information that would take us time to feed back to them. So they do very much like it, and now we're getting it in the lettings world. We know that it's going to be of great benefit there too to the landlords. So with regard to the recent integration of lettings, of the Reapit tools for lettings, and particularly the accounts functionality, we now that we're up to the position where we're on our own, we've found out through operation that the time that it's saving us doing daily reconciliation we're roughly saving about 6 hours per day, 5 days a week, throughout every calendar month. We're saving now over and above the time we were spending on our old software. So the fact that all of this is now automatically done, that manual intervention has just gone out of the window, but with it, all that enormous saving in man-hours. They'd got our business, and they didn't really owe us anything in terms of an ongoing relationship. Whereas with Reapit, they very much respect the relationship, value it, and make sure that they nurture it. And so there is constant interaction from the support team. There are regular meetings where we're invited to go and review progress, products, and what may be happening in the marketplace. And that's something that we particularly value, is the reliance on them to be in touch with the market, of our rapidly changing market, so that they're often first to market with all sorts of ideas and products. And we've got any number of incidents like that where we've been very keen to take on board those tools and run with them. And one of them has been electronic document signing, that we're really keen to extend that throughout our business. So as estate agents, we naturally have a need to have aspects of our business serviced by service providers, and where Reapit has been really skilled is in identifying through their own research the best providers for certain aspects of the estate agency business. Printing, SMS text messaging, post office postcodes and addresses, and all that sort of thing that we would have to go out independently to secure and negotiate rates. Reapit have been very, very skilled at finding the best providers, negotiating the best providers, and making them available through the software to us as users, and that's very, very valuable. So Reapit's knowledge of the industry has also been very useful to us as a relatively small operator, that they've got knowledge of best practice throughout the industry, and they have made use of that by developing their software to allow those best practices to be available to all of their users. And with their training as well, marrying those two together, it's helped us advance our techniques of looking after buyers and sellers and landlords and tenants and prospects in all of those fields for new business. And a brilliant tool is something called the Organizer within software, which used on a daily basis is perfect for ensuring that you don't miss a trick, you don't miss a vendor contact, you don't miss a landlord contact or a buyer contact, and it keeps us in touch with them, whereas otherwise we would be reactive, and it just makes sure that we're really proactive in that essential area of our business. Question, would we recommend Reapit? Simple answer, yes, and we often do.